welcome to a new series that I am, well, it's actually part of our in-person series that we've been previously hosting, but I will now be leading this series from now on, and this is the 1K before K book club. And we're going to do a little bit of revamping starting with the month of March. We're going to do the same things. We're going to be singing songs, we're going to be reading books, and you will have some time to choose books to read and take home and complete your log sheets with. And another good thing is, the books that I will read to you today, you can add to your 1K before K log sheets. But we're actually merging this series with my previous series, Let's Get Ready for Kindergarten, where I'm going to be incorporating some of those skills, especially into optional activities, especially with our older children, that not only are fun, but will prepare them with the skills they need in order to be successful when they go into kindergarten next year. So we're going to include some elements of that. But basically, the goal is to read some books and have some fun. And we are going to start with our welcome song. And just so you know, our welcome song is part of was from the pamphlet, the Very Ready Reading Program, which is published by Upstart. And when you register for this program, you should have gotten a copy of the song sheet in your email. So if you have that, please follow along. But you ready? Alright, we're going to start off with our welcome song, The More We Get Together. Are we ready, boys and girls? Now usually here's how it works. I sing it along first, and then the second time around, all my friends join me. So, we ready? Okay, here we go, our welcome song, The More We Get Together. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Everybody! The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Alright, good job, boys and girls. So just give me 1 minute. Now, as you all know, we just began the month of March. And what do we think about when we think of the month of March? What do you think, boys and girls? Well, if you're thinking St. Patrick's Day, you are right. St. Patrick's Day is coming up in 10 days. And what do you think about when we think of St. Patrick's Day? Well, we think of rainbows, we think of leprechauns, we think of shamrocks and 4-leaf clovers, and we think of gold, and we think of, what's that one color I'm thinking about, boys and girls, when we think of St. Patrick's Day? Well, when we think of St. Patrick's Day, we think of the color green. And there's a lot of green in St. Patrick's Day. So those are maybe some basic things you think of when you think of St. Patrick's Day. But do you know where it comes from, boys and girls? Well, we're going to read a very special book in order to learn a little bit about St. Patrick's Day. Now, this is a special type of book, boys and girls. It is called a nonfiction book. And what do you think about when we think of nonfiction books? For my older boys and girls in preschool, do you know what a nonfiction book is? Well, nonfiction book, they're called true books. They tell you actual things about certain subjects like dinosaurs, or dogs, or cats, or, as is in the case here, holidays. So you're going to hear some true things about St. Patrick's Day and where it came from. And we will talk a little bit about selecting these true books later on. But with that being said, are we ready to read the story? Well, this is Festivals, St. Patrick's Day. And this is from a series called Bullfrog Books. Now, so, Festivals, St. Patrick's Day. The author is Rebecca Pettiford. Now, the author is the person who writes the words in the book. And we have an editor who looks at the book to make sure everything is correct. And the editor is Kristen Chang. And then we have a book designer, which is the person who puts the book into what it's going to look like. And that is Leah Sanders. And we also have a photo researcher who looked for some great photographs or pictures to put in the book. And that's also Leah Sanders. And then we have the publisher, which is that company or organization that puts the book all together and sends it to the bookstores to sell. Now, both the Bullfrog book series and this book is the publisher is Jump. All right, so give me 1 minute, and then we're going to read the story. All right. So, are we ready to read the book? Okay, here we go. Now, for my older boys and girls, I'm going to be pointing to the words I'm reading. So, if you know some of the words, you can follow along. All right, here we go. Our first section, Green Day. It is March 17th. Today is St. Patrick's Day. Now, boys and girls, just so you know, St. Patrick's Day is always on March 17th. So when you think of that day, you're going to think of St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick was a Christian. He lived in Ireland. He told people about God. He did good deeds. So St. Patrick was a man who lived in Ireland. He was a Christian. He just helped, and he helped a lot of people. So they're celebrating this day in honor of St. Patrick. day we honor Ireland and its people. Do we have to be Irish? What do you think, boys and girls? Do you have to be Irish to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? No, you don't have to be Irish. I mean, yeah, you don't have to be Irish to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. I mean, some people think I am Irish, but I'm only a little bit Irish. No, we can all have fun. We wear green. Why? Green is the color of Ireland. So everybody thinks about green when they think of Ireland. That's why we all wear green on St. Patrick's Day. Oh no, Paul is not in green. Molly pinches him. Ow! What do you think, boys and girls? Isn't it nice to pinch somebody? No, it's not nice to pinch people, even if they're not wearing green. So boys and girls, don't do that. Look, it's a parade. People dance. They wave Irish flags. Remember, St. Patrick was from Ireland. So everybody honors and celebrates Ireland on St. Patrick's Day. That's why they wave the Irish flag around. Nora wears a hat. It has a shamrock on it. So there's the shamrock. Shamrocks are a very popular symbol of St. Patrick's Day. Mr. Rob is dressed like a leprechaun. Who's heard about leprechauns? I don't know about the younger toddlers, but what about the preschoolers in our group? Have you heard of leprechauns? For my older boys and girls here, what does a leprechaun carry with him? Well, the legend has it that if you see a leprechaun, he's probably carrying a pot of gold. All right, let's find out what happens. Mom makes corned beef. She makes cabbage. Yum! And that is a popular dish on St. Patrick's Day, corned beef and cabbage. And let me tell you, boys and girls, it is very yummy. We eat green cookies. We drink green milk. So everything is decorated in green. We color the milk green, we put green icing on cookies, and it's very good. You've probably heard of shamrock shakes, right, boys and girls? They sound yummy. And who's ever had a green bagel? I have. They're pretty good. Happy St. Patrick's Day! And that is the end of the story. Now, which books that have true things in it, sometimes they're divided into different sections, like Green Day, and then symbols, and then and the symbols. And sometimes, and these books, they give ideas for parents and teachers. Other special features include picture symbols of St. Patrick's Day, a glossary of words that you may not know, and it includes, this one includes pictures, and also something called an index. So if you want to know, if you forgot about something, you want to learn more about it or want to go back to it, it tells you the page to go to. And this shows you more stuff if you want to learn more about St. Patrick's Day. And a lot of these books are, a lot of nonfiction books are like this. They divide the book up into sections. They have glossaries of words that you may not know, like a mini dictionary, and an index for page numbers to go back to if you forgot something. But anyway, now that I've read this book to you, can you think of one new thing that you learned after I read this book? Well, I hope you have your new fact, that you learned a brand new fact about St. Patrick's Day, maybe even more, and I hope you enjoyed this book. I know it's not a story, but sometimes these true books, they're kind of cool too. There's a lot of cool pictures and illustrations and charts, and you learn something new as you're reading it. How cool is that? Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this book. We will be reading our next story book in a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to introduce the St. Patrick's Day song. And this one is called The Shamrock Is Green. Now, before I go on, I just want to let you know that the two St. Patrick's Day songs that I'll be singing during this program are from the website preschooleducation.com. So, if you're interested in these songs as well as other similar St. Patrick's Day songs, please click on the web link in the video description. But we are going to start with follow along the song, The Shamrock Is Green. So, are you with me, boys and girls? Are we ready? Okay, here we go. The shamrock is green, the shamrock is green. Hi ho, St. Patrick's Day, the shamrock is green. Everybody! The shamrock is green, the shamrock is green. Hi ho, St. Patrick's Day, the shamrock is green. Alright, good job, boys and girls. Alright, so we read our nonfiction book, which is good for everybody, but it helps our older preschool age group learn a little bit about St. Patrick's Day. Now, the next book I'm going to read is it's somewhat nonfiction, but not really. It's very simple, and it's perfect for our babies and toddlers in the group who are probably celebrating St. Patrick's Day maybe for the first time. And parents, you want to read a little bit about St. Patrick's Day to your infant or toddler. So the next book I'm going to be reading is called Baby's First St. Patrick's Day. Alright, now there's not really an author or illustrator of this book, but we do have a publisher, and the publisher is DK Publishing. Alright, with that being said, are we ready to begin? Now again, for our older children, our preschoolers, I'll be pointed to the words so they can follow along. But they can, if they know some words, they can call out. Alright, are we ready to begin? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Just so you can see the book better, I will zoom back out when I am finished. Let's see if that helps. Close enough. Alright, here we go. St. Patrick's Day is Ireland's party day. It's celebrated celebrated all around the world. And this looks like a picture of a parade. Cool, huh, boys and girls? The day is named after Ireland's patron saint. And this is St. Patrick, who I mentioned in our first book. He lived long ago. Oh, sorry about that. On St. Patrick's Day, lots of people dress up. And what color do they wear, boys and girls? Do you remember? Well, as I mentioned before, people like to dress up in green on St. Patrick's Day because green is Ireland's color. Would you like to wear this green top hat? What do you think, boys and girls? I would. We are sure to see a three-leaf. What's this a picture of? That's a shamrock, a symbol of Ireland. Now a shamrock is a type of clover plant. And what's this a picture of? A four-leaf what, boys and girls? That is a picture of a four-leaf clover. And a four-leaf clover is supposed to bring you good luck. And we could make some tasty Irish soda bread. Yum! Some people play lively music. You might hear an Irish drum, which is called a bodhrán. Look how pretty that is. Other people dance in fancy clothes and shoes. And this is one Irish outfit used for dancing. Isn't that pretty, boys and girls? It's fun to guess what's at the end of the rainbow. What do you think's at the end of the rainbow, boys and girls? A pot of gold coins. Wow! Wouldn't it be fun to find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Don't forget to look out for a funny leprechaun. He likes to play games, and he's saying, "Chase me, chase me." Happy St. Patrick's Day. May the luck of the Irish be with you. And that is the end of the story. So I'm going to zoom back out. So, what did you think, boys and girls? Was that a great great book to look at? Now, as I mentioned before, based on reading those two books, did you learn anything new about St. Patrick's Day? If so, what? Alright, well anyway, I hope you learned something new, and I hope you enjoyed these 2 books. I certainly enjoyed reading them to you. But and this next part is for our parents who are viewing this. We're not really going to have an activity today. After I do a little talk, you're going to spend most of the rest of the program choosing some books and reading. But before I do that, I want to talk to you a little bit about choosing nonfiction books. And before I do that, I just want to let you know these tips I am going to share with you are from the website Reading Eggs. So, if you're interested in this, as well as other similar book tips for choosing a book, please click on the web link in the video description. Now, when you registered, you also got a sheet with these tips. So please follow along on there. Now, I know when you're choosing books for your child, you're thinking about stories like books on dinosaurs, or fantasy books, or princess books, or popular series like Biscuit and the Berenstain Bears. All those fun books. But while those types of books are great for your child, it's also very good to introduce nonfiction books as soon as possible. And let me tell you why. Nonfiction books are great for young readers, and the sooner you introduce them to nonfiction, the better. Your child's eventually going to want to know about different subjects. And the nonfiction books today will provide those answers for your child, but they make them fun, and they really draw the reader in. Also, when they go into school, they're going to eventually be starting on projects, and they're going to need to look at those nonfiction books in order to help complete those projects. Some of them may be on animals, some of them may be on a different country, some could be on a person, but who knows? But the sooner they get exposed to nonfiction books, the better. And it gets them into that habit of using these books to help them answer their questions. Alright, with that being said, we're going to talk about some tips for selecting nonfiction books. Alright, so we ready? Alright, here we go. The first thing you want to do, the first tip, is to talk about nonfiction books. When you're reading to your child for your reading log, you may want to choose a nonfiction book. Before you do that, say that you're going to be reading a nonfiction book, which means it gives you stuff about a topic or a subject that is true. It is not a story. That will introduce that difference between fiction and nonfiction to your child. Another tip, find out about something your child really likes. For example, are they fascinated in cars? Do they like reading about whales? Are they crazy about baseball? Do they love dance? Find out what your child loves, then choose a nonfiction book based on what your child likes and read it together. Now, you can choose a simple book, or there's a book that's a little bit more challenging, but it has great information. The beauty of nonfiction books is you don't have to read the whole thing from beginning to end. You can skip to sections. That's the beauty of a nonfiction book. It's not like a story, and some of them are broken down into sections, so you don't have to read the whole thing. You can select particular sections or pages to look at. Here's a third tip. It's good to choose books that revolve around what you're planning. Like, for example, are you going to a museum? Or are you going to an art museum? Or are you taking a trip to another state? If you're going to, so take events that you're doing and pick books based on those events. For example, if you're going to an art museum, you want to maybe select nonfiction books about different artists and paintings. Or if you're going to another state, you may want to get a book about that state as well as some maps and guides. So looking at those guides or books before going somewhere, that helps your child connect what they're reading about to the real world. Tip number 4, do they have a specific story they love to read? Do they like to read about dinosaurs? Do they read a book with dinosaur characters? Do they read a book with bear characters? Take those characters and their favorite stories and find nonfiction books that go along with it. So if they watched a movie or read a book with dinosaur characters, you may want to select age-appropriate nonfiction books on dinosaurs, on fossils, and on different other species that no longer exist. A 5th tip, it's best if you choose books that have like little tiny quotes or diagrams or illustrations or pictures or maps or charts. Having those different elements will introduce your child to reading through certain things like illustrations and charts. It helps them navigate between what's happening in the book to these illustrations and makes the connection. And that's how they learn to draw new information. And then the last tip is maybe plan a little day trip, like maybe to the aquarium or to a garden or even to the baseball stadium. So what you do is you pick your day trip and you choose these nonfiction books based on where you're going. So if your child has questions when they're visiting, don't answer it. What you say is, when we get home, we'll look at the book together to find out where we went. And this will help your child develop those important research skills they're going to need when they have those eventual projects. Anyway, those are the 6 tips that will help you choose good nonfiction books, age-appropriate nonfiction books for your child. So, now that you have those tips, I'm going to give you some time in order to sit down and choose some books to read. And if you read any books during this time, please fill those out in your reading log. And you can add these 2 books to your reading log. You also got a list of the books, including these 2 books that we read. So you can add these to your reading list. And the book list will also have other suggested books that you can look at. And we have those books available here at the library. So please, if you're interested, please visit us at the library. Alright, I'm going to give you some time. And you can also pause if you need more time to finish a book. So we will come back in a few minutes. Alright. Have fun. right now we are going to stop what we are doing. So parents, if you need more time to finish the book that you're reading to your child, or if you want more time for your child to finish if they're reading, please, you can always pause this. It is a pre-recorded video. By the way, I hope you had some fun reading. I hope you chose some good nonfiction books. But let's sing another St. Patrick's Day song. How about that? Isn't that great, boys and girls? And this is another cute little song called How Many Leprechauns? So, are we ready to begin? Okay, here we go. Please follow along on your song sheet. How many leprechauns do you see? Can you count them? 1, 2, 3. How many skinny ones? How many fat? How many leprechauns without a hat? How many leprechauns do you see? Can you count them? 1, 2, 3. Everybody! How many leprechauns do you see? Can you count them? 1, 2, 3. How many skinny ones? How many fat? How many leprechauns without a hat? How many leprechauns do you see? Can you count them? 1, 2, 3. All right, good job, boys and girls. So, I hope you had fun today in our book club. I hope you read some great books and added some more to your reading logs. But, sadly, it is time to say goodbye until next time. I know, sad. But when you come back next month, we'll have some new books to read and some new fun topics, some new songs, and even an activity if you want. How cool is that? All right. So, yeah, next month we're going to have a new activity, some new books, and some whole lot of fun. But until then, we are going to wrap up for today with our goodbye song. Now, just so you know, parents, our goodbye song is from the website Literary Hoots. So, if you're interested in this song as well as other similar songs, please click on the web link in the video description. But now it is time to wrap up with our goodbye song. Are we ready? Here we go. Hands go up, hands go down. I can turn round and round. I can jump upon 2 shoes. I can clap and so can you. I can wave, I'll show you how. Story time is done for now. Everybody, hands go up, hands go down. I can turn round and round. I can jump upon 2 shoes. I can clap and so can you. I can wave, I'll show you how. Story time is done for now. Thank you so much for joining me today, boys and girls. Have a great day and have a happy St. Patrick's Day. I will see you next month.